Thanks for logging on to MyFoxHurricane.com. So it's been a fairly quiet season thus far, and we're basically right at the peak of the season. Just kind of looking back at some of the years prior, back in 2020, by this point, we had already had 20 named storms. Just last year, we were at 14 named storms, and so far we've only had 5. But that's about to change because we have our next system. This is now Tropical Depression number 7 right here. Remember, we were watching this area. We're also watching this area that had worked its way off the coast of Africa. You can see the one further out really hasn't done anything. In fact, they've gone ahead and they've stopped even watching that area as far as the Hurricane Center is concerned about. But this is now Tropical Depression number 7. A little bit of dry air surrounding this, and there's also some wind shear on this northern side of the storm. So overall, conditions aren't overwhelmingly good, but it has really shown some organization here over the past 24 to 36 hours. So Hurricane Center has gone ahead and started issuing advisories. This has that closed circulation as well. So right now, located at 16.6, 49.6, top winds are 35 miles an hour. Now watch as we go through the next couple of days. That's why we're watching this. It does look like this will form into a tropical storm. Next name on the list, Fiona. And it'll work its way basically on that westerly direction, bringing the rains and the gusty winds across the windward, the leeward islands up towards Puerto Rico, and then right over the Dominican Republic, where you see a very mountainous area through here. That's why you see this system starting to weaken. And that's going to be a big key and a big focal point as we go through the next several days. Does it actually move right over the land in the mountainous areas, because that can potentially cause a real issue for this system? And what does it look like on the other side of that? That's that long range forecast that we're going to be talking about over the coming days, and that will change really based on what it does in this area here, how well it forms, and then what kind of land interactions it has as we get into next week. Because you know, this is Monday of next week. So we've got some time to watch it, but just because it's heading in a direction like this, and here we are right up here, you got to pay attention to this one as we go through the next several days. I can tell you, as far as the long-range computer models are concerned, at this point, it is not bringing it into Florida. But things can change. Not trying to alarm anything, but it is one of those things. Anytime you have something heading in your general direction, you do have to at least pay attention and kind of keep tabs on it. So watch the Fox model. Fox model has been very consistent over the past couple of days, showing that slow development and taking a little bit more of a southerly track. The models over the past couple of days, some of those more major computer models have been a bit further to the north, and now they're starting to shift a little bit further down to the south, much more in line with what we've been seeing with the Fox model over the past couple of days, bringing those gusty winds and the rains into the Caribbean over Puerto Rico. This is by Saturday evening, moving right through there, and will just continue to work its way for the time being on that westerly direction. You look at the European and the GFS, we're kind of laying both of these on top of each other. So here we are, we're talking about this area right here. Watch as we go through time, kind of back and forth, not quite sure about how much development we're going to see with this, but by the time we get into Sunday, we're talking about this moving over those mountainous areas. And then there's that turn more towards the north. Big question is, where exactly does it do this turn? The European actually turns this a little bit more towards the north and east. So obviously, when you get into that long range forecast, you're going to see some big divergence in these models, because you're really talking about a lot of different things, a lot of different steps that can happen between there and over here and then up into here. So this is by no means set in stone. We are going to continue to keep you updated right here on MyFoxHurricane.com.